Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Manu Law Classes Current Affair Analysis. In this particular video, we will do August 29, The Hindu Delhi edition newspaper discussion. Our first topic of concern is about Article 35A, as it has been said by the Chief Justice of India that Article 35A denied many in Jammu and Kashmir their right. So we will first discuss what is Article 35A, then we will discuss about the issue. So Article 35A empowered the Jammu and Kashmir legislature to define permanent resident of the state, and they were provided special privileges, and they were also denied fundamental rights to the other. This particular article defined who are the permanent citizens of Jammu and Kashmir and who are not. So the fundamental rights which is given to the citizens only, it was being given to the permanent citizen, and the other peoples were not able to get these fundamental rights. Article 35A gave special rights and privileges to the permanent resident and virtually took away the right of the non-resident. कौन से राइट इसमें इंक्लूडेड है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इज द राइट टू इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ स्टेट एम्प्लॉयमेंट, right to acquire property, right to settle in Jammu and Kashmir. These were the permanent right which was there in this particular Article 35A. Okay. Now addressing the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, the Chief Justice also said that the centre has already adhered to the principle of federalism while abrogating the Article 370 and abolishing the Jammu and Kashmir full-fledged state status, and it has been converted into union territory. Now the Chief Justice said that the abrogation was facilitated by first dissolving the Jammu and Kashmir state legislature, proclaiming precedent rule under the Article 356 on the ground of breakdown of constitutional machinery. Then he pointed out toward Article 3, which made it mandatory for the president to consult the state legislature before altering the status of the state. So here, first of all, just try to understand that when Article 370 was abrogated, at that point, the state was under control of president. Okay, it was their president rule. So under president rule, either president himself or he can ask the governor to just rule the state or the maintain the law and order in spite of the legislature. So at the point when this particular article 370 was abrogated, at that time the state was under the president rule. Now the CJI is asking about Article 3, that Article 3 makes it mandatory if suppose anyone, any state status or any state legislature status, it has to be changed. So the president has to ask it from the state legislature before altering the status of state. But here, what was the scenario? The state was under the president rule, and that's why everything which was done, it was according to the clause, and here the Prime Minister and the Parliament's decision to abrogate Article 370 is legible. Okay, so this is about the whole article. You have to understand Article 35A. Soon we will see that what will happen. It can be abrogated also, or we will see what will happen in near future. As the Chief Justice of India has already said that Article 35A is good for someone and it is very much derogatory for others who are given the tag of non-resident. Moving further toward our next important article, that is about ISRO. ISRO will soon launch Aditya L1 mission on September 2, as it has been stated, to study the sun. If we talk about the structure of the sun, so here it is the core of the sun, then there is photosphere, then there is chromosphere, then the outermost layer is called the corona. So this particular Aditya L1 mission, it is there to study the corona and the chromosphere or the outermost layer of the sun, and also it will study the photosphere. It will be launched at a particular site called the L1 site. It is called Langering Point or the Liberation Point. What is Langring point और what is liberation point? These are the point. For example, अगर हम सन की बात करें तो सन का ग्रेविटेशनल पुल इतना ज्यादा है कि कोई भी चीज उसके आसपास होगी, it will get subsumed in the sun. But there are few points in the orbit where the gravitational pull of the sun and the gravitational pull of the earth equals out. These points are called liberation point or Langring point because it was discovered by Langring. It was calculated by Langring, hence the name was given Langring point. So at these point, as the gravity is being equaled out, these point are the best fit where the or on any satellite can be launched. So here the Aditya L1 will go on the Langring point 1 through the PSLV XL. Just remember these important points, PSLV XL. So here basically Aditya 1 is India's first space-based observatory to study the sun, and it will be launched as said by ISRO on September 2, and the spacecraft will lift at 11:50 am from the Sriharikota as posted on the Twitter or X. And here the ISRO has said that the spacecraft will be placed at a halo orbit around the Langring point 1 of the Sun Earth system, and it is 1.5 million kilometer away from the Earth. So this is a very important mission. It will be soon launched, and it is expected to take over around 120 days from the spacecraft to reach L1. The mission profile of the Aditya L1 states that a satellite placed in the halo orbit around the L1 has major advantage of continuously viewing the sun without any occultation or eclipse. We know there are phenomena of eclipse जो हम बोलते हैं चंद्र ग्रहण, सूर्य ग्रहण, ये सब होता है, लेकिन ये जो L1 है ये एक ऐसा पॉइंट है जहां पे आपको इन सारे एक्लिप्सेस का या ऑक्यूल्टेशन का कोई इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा और कॉन्टिन्यूअसली आपका जो आदित्य L1 सैटेलाइट है ये इसको देखता रहेगा। साथ में यहाँ पे जो सोलर एक्टिविटीज हैं, जो सोलर एक्टिविटीज का इफेक्ट है वेदर पे, स्पेस वेदर पे रियल टाइम में, ये सारी चीजें आपकी विजिबल होंगी आदित्य L1 मिशन को। और साथ में इसके पास एक अपना अलग से साथ पेलोड होगा जो बेसिकली आपका फोटोस्फेयर और क्रोमोस्फेयर और कोरोना को देखेगा, दैट इज द आउटर मोस्ट लेयर ऑफ द सन। सो इसका स्टडी करवाया जाएगा थ्रू आदित्य L1 मिशन, and it will be launched on September 2. These were the two important news which you should know. Moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the state section. We already know, we have read very much about this thing, that the Karnataka Kaveri issue, okay, I have already given all the static aspect related to Kaveri river. So just go through the last DNA analysis so that you can get to know about the Kaveri river more. Now there is a dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu over the water issue or water release issue of the Kaveri river. So here Karnataka will release 5,000 cusecs of the Kaveri water to Tamil Nadu. Kaveri Water Management Authority, it will decide on the recommendation of the Kaveri Water Regulation today, and Tamil Nadu had sought 24,000 cusecs per day for the next 15 days. Okay, so it has been said that in the next 15 days, Karnataka has to release 5,000 cusecs or the cubic feet per second water to Tamil Nadu. So this was the judgment which was in news, and it is a very news in transition topic. Other important news is about the Centre informed Madras High Court of intent to amend the Succession Act for wills executed in 3 cities. So the Centre has informed Madras High Court that it will amend Section 213 of the Indian Succession Act 1925, which mandates Hindu, Buddhist, Jainism, Sikhism and Parsis to obtain or probate or letter of administration from the court concerned to inherit for property through a will executed in Chennai. So this particular amendment, it was basically proposed and it will be covering all the wills related to the immovable property situated in these 3 cities, which are these Chennai, Mumbai and Kolkata. So here the center is going to reform or amend this particular act. Only this much is important, just remember, because this is a very important judgment. Moving further toward our editorial section, and here we have a very great news about Neeraj Chopra and his winning. So Neeraj Chopra is leading a javelin revolution for India. He is basically a javelin thrower. So in the Budapest World Athletics Championship, he is the first Indian to secure gold in World Athletics Championship in Budapest. You have to tell me that where Budapest is located, in which country. Okay. Now this is Neeraj's second and India's third medal after long jumper Anju's Bobby George opened the account in 2003. Neeraj is the first Indian Olympic champion athlete who got in the javelin throw. He got the gold, or he secured gold medal for India. So he is the first ever. Just remember, this is very important. It can come in your examination. Apart from that, here the Commonwealth Games champion Arshad Nadeem, he took silver, the first ever world medal for the Pakistan with 87.82, and Neeraj, he recorded his season's best 88.77 meter in the qualification round, and he was the unbeaten streak this year, and he got this particular medal. Okay, so this is important. Apart from that, there is another important art news, that is the 2022 World's Silver in Eugene, but he also became the third athlete after the Jen Zenny and Andreas Thod Kilston to win the World Olympic gold. And he formally led India's javelin revolution at a global stage, as compatriot Kishore Zina and DP Manu also took 5th and 6th position. So this is a very important news. It can come in your exam because this is the first time any Indian got gold medal in the World Athletics Championship in javelin throw. Okay, so just remember this because it is very important. Moving toward our next important article, that is about the Delhi summit, which is going to held in 8 to 10, okay, September. So here the G20 members who are going to meet in Delhi, there if we see about the G20 member countries, so they emit maximum amount of greenhouse gases and they pollute the environment, and they also produce the bulk of its fossil fuels. So here whenever we are burning any fossil fuel, we are simply releasing carbon dioxide and the other gases, which actually causes greenhouse, which are a greenhouse gas. What is the meaning of this term greenhouse? These are responsible for increasing the temperature of environment and also climate change. So here basically the maximum or the maximum number of countries in the G20, they are the bulk emitter of the greenhouse gases. They have also, maximum of them have pledged to be net zero. What is the meaning of term net zero? If you are producing greenhouse gases, so you should also create equal amount of sink for these greenhouse gases. For example, if I am causing CO2 pollution, so I should also ensure that I am planting various trees, or I am basically helping in the creation of sink, okay, carbon sink. So this is net zero, that whatever you are producing, you have to create that much of sink. So here basically many of the countries, for example, if we talk about India, India has targeted 2070 as the year for achieving net zero. And on a similar note, various countries like China has did hit target for 2060, and various countries, France and USA, they are targeting for 2050 to achieve net zero, and that is the main reason that they are pledging. But it is the time for the G20 to act as a united group and drive its own collective climate ambition through the collaboration, coordination and competition. So this particular G20 summit, which will be held in New Delhi from September 9 to 10, it is a crucial moment in which the leadership can come and they can actually talk about the climate change. It is ahead of the recent, we know that COP28 of UNFCCC will be held in UAE, United Arab Emirates. But before that, these countries can come and they can already talk about these issues. Now, G20 members, they have already shown a degree of commitment to shift toward a clean energy, renewable energy sources providing 29% of their energy mix in 2021. It is an increase from 19% in 2010. India has made significant step in the last decade to become the world's third largest producer of the renewable energy. What is renewable energy? Renewable energy is those energy which can be replenished and it is non-polluting on a normal sense. For example, if we are using fossil fuel, it is polluting and fossil fuels are non-renewable. It cannot be replenished. But if we are using solar energy to produce electricity, it is a renewable energy. So India has made significant step. India is already promoting a lot in the renewable energy market and it is helping the industries or the private companies who are involved in this market to develop such technology which can be used for the renewable energy development. Okay. So here India has become the third largest producer of the renewable energy and it has already set targets to continue the expansion of the installed renewables to account for 50% of the energy production by 2030. But government need to create a bigger shift as the demand is very high and the world's carbon budget is shrinking faster. So that's why there is a need to take more steps toward the clean energy. Now, how can it be done? It can be done by the clean governance structure. First of all, there should be three action areas where there is a need of focus. First one is at the national and the local level. So G20 countries need to improve their governance process for just energy transition. Means the government should establish clear governance structure to ensure that the transition process is inclusive. फॉर एग्जाम्पल सिंपली अगर मैं इसमें यहाँ पे बात करूं, आपकी कोई ग्रीन एनर्जी है, सपोज यू आर गोइंग फॉर सोलर एनर्जी विच इज अ ग्रीन एनर्जी, यहाँ पे आपका इंस्टॉलेशन कॉस्ट इतना ज्यादा लग रहा है, लोग इतने स्किल्ड नहीं हैं कि यहाँ पे उनको इसमें इंस्टॉल कैसे करना है ये सब आता हो, तो देयर शुड बी अ क्लियर गवर्नेंस. यहाँ पे एक गवर्नेंस क्लियर होना चाहिए कि कैसे हम इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे, लोगों को स्किल्स देना चाहिए, साथ में यहाँ पे जॉब क्रिएशन भी होना चाहिए इन रिन्यूएबल सेक्टर में. तो इसीलिए गवर्नमेंट को ये जो ट्रांजिशन प्रोसेस है दैट वी आर मूविंग फ्रॉम द नॉन रिन्यूएबल टू द रिन्यूएबल सोर्स, वी शुड वर्क ऑन द क्लियर गवर्नेंस जिसके चलते कोई भी ऐसा प्रॉब्लम ना आए इस ट्रांजिशन में. यहाँ पे सारी मिनिस्ट्रीज की और गवर्नमेंट की ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो एक प्रॉपर प्लान बनाए जिससे इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है वो मार्केट में आ सके. इसमें आपके प्रोग्रेस इंडिकेटर्स होने चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल नेट जॉब क्रिएशन, diversity of manufacturing and regional economic growth, to include metrics on the kind of job created, who has access to them, and there should be a broader community resilience. Basically यहाँ पे लोगों को स्किल करने की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है क्योंकि रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी हम तभी स्टैब्लिश कर पाएंगे, अपना गोल तभी अचीव कर पाएंगे जब यहाँ पे लोगों को इस अपॉर्चुनिटी को अवेल करवा पाएंगे. तो इसीलिए एक तो आपका फंडिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट वी कैन से यहाँ पे करने की जरूरत है. उसके अलावा जॉब क्रिएशन एंड अपस्किलिंग ऑफ पीपल. Despite on the country context, G20 countries should also maintain multi-ministerial task force or joint working group between the government and the non-government actor to coordinate just energy transition effort. For example, South Africa has developed the Just Energy Transition Framework that was led by the Presidential Climate Commission, and other G20 can learn from this approach to accelerate their own energy transition. यहाँ पे क्योंकि हम G20 कंट्रीज की बात कर रहे हैं तो इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे तो एक क्लियर प्लान की जरूरत है ही है. इसके अलावा G20 कंट्रीज की अगर बात करें तो यहाँ पे एक ऐसा मॉडल स्टैब्लिश करना चाहिए, एक ऐसा वर्किंग ग्रुप स्टैब्लिश करना चाहिए जिससे बाकी कंट्रीज को भी फायदा हो और वो भी सीख सके. फॉर एग्जाम्पल साउथ अफ्रीका ने यहाँ पे अपना ट्रांजिशन फ्रेमवर्क, जस्ट एनर्जी ट्रांजिशन फ्रेमवर्क डेवलप किया है and that has led to the Presidential Climate Commission. Okay, this is important. Along with that, the second thing which should be done is the India's G20 presidency has been acknowledged, and G20 should see the transition to way of diversifying G20 members economies to ensure long term economic stability, livelihood and public revenue streams. तो यहाँ पे एक इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन बनाना चाहिए जो इन इन्वेस्टमेंट में जो आपका नया तरीके का रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी का, ग्रिड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का जो रिक्वायरमेंट है उसको ये फुलफिल कर सके, और यहाँ पे ऐसी फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस को काम करना चाहिए। साथ में यहाँ पे आपका बहुत लो कार्बन इंडस्ट्रियल टेक्नोलॉजीज जो हैं उनको सपोर्ट देना चाहिए, या जो एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी पे काम कर रही है उन कंपनीज को सपोर्ट देना चाहिए। देयर शुड ऑल्सो बी अ कलेक्टिव कमिटमेंट बाय द G20 टू ग्रीन पब्लिक प्रोक्योरमेंट, मतलब जो आपका डीकार्बनाइजेशन मेथड है, जैसे कि आपका स्टील हो गया, सीमेंट हो गया, यहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा कार्बन प्रोड्यूस होता है, तो इन सारे सेक्टर्स में यहाँ पे ग्रीन पब्लिक प्रोक्योरमेंट स्टैब्लिश करना चाहिए फॉर द इफेक्टिव एंड एम्बिशियस रिफॉर्म इन पब्लिक परचेसिंग। ओके, and also the third and the most important point which should be done is the need for ट्रांसपेरेंसी की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर हम एक इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे कॉपरेशन करना चाहते हैं तो हमें यहाँ पे आपका ट्रांसपेरेंसी को इम्प्रूव करना होगा, और साथ में अकाउंटेबिलिटी को हमें एग्जैक्ट डेटा बताना होगा यहाँ पे कि कितना हम एमिट करते थे, इस टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके कितना हमें फायदा हुआ, एंड दैट इंफॉर्मेशन शुड बी रिलायबल। ऐसा कुछ बढ़ा चढ़ा के कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं बतानी है, एक सिंपल तरीके से, ट्रांसपेरेंट तरीके से सही इंफॉर्मेशन देनी है, एंड थ्रू दैट दिस दिल्ली समिट कैन ऑल्सो बी अ वे टू conquer over the decarbonization or to conquer the climate issues. Okay, so this was about this whole news. The outcome document of this July G20 Energy Transition Minister meeting is called for Just, Affordable and Inclusive Energy Transition Pathway. But for the countries to get on the pathway, G20 must act together. Okay, so we will see what will happen in this summit. Moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the text and the context section. So here basically what is going on, we have already read quite a long time about the Chat GPT. Chat GPT है क्या आपका? It is a large language model. मतलब यहाँ पे जो Chat GPT है वो क्या काम करता है, वो आपका सबसे पहले तो ओपन AI जो है इसने Chat GPT को डेवलप किया है, और चैट जीपीटी आपका लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल का मतलब होता है कि जितने भी आपके, चाहे वो न्यूज साइट है, वेबसाइट है, कुछ भी है, उन सब से आपका ये नॉलेज इकट्ठा करता है, और नॉलेज इकट्ठा करके हमारी हेल्प करता है। इफ वी वांट टू फ्रेम एनी आर्टिकल, इफ वी वांट टू राइट एनीथिंग, वी कैन मेक यूज ऑफ द चैट जीपीटी। ओके, सो इट इज बेसिकली अ लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल। इनके पास बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन होनी चाहिए जिसके चलते ये अपने सिस्टम को ट्रेन कर सके, एंड दे यूज मशीन लर्निंग एंड डीप लर्निंग टेक्निक्स टू ट्रेन द एआई और टू ट्रेन द मशीन। ओके, अगर चैटबॉट्स और डिजिटल असिस्टेंट दे आर able to understand the question that human throws at them, they need to study the human work on language pattern. For example, अगर मैंने पूछा चैट जीपीटी what is the temperature of today, तो यहाँ पे चैट जीपीटी को पता होना चाहिए कि टेम्परेचर कितना है, टेम्परेचर हम किसको बोलते हैं, अभी का टेम्परेचर क्या है, तो ये सब वो बताएगा। तो इसको बताने के लिए उसको खुद को इतना कंटेंट ढूंढना पड़ेगा, दे हैव टू सर्च फॉर दैट मच कंटेंट। कैसे ये कंटेंट अपना पढ़ते हैं या किस तरीके से ये कंटेंट को यूज करते हैं, कहाँ से कंटेंट लाते हैं, इसके बारे में कोई कंपनी जिसने इसको डेवलप किया है, ओपन एआई या गूगल का बार्ड है, तो ये सब खुल के नहीं बताते, बट वी ऑलरेडी नो इट इज फ्रॉम द इंटरनेट, लाइक सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट, न्यूज आर्टिकल, विकिपीडिया, ई बुक्स, एंड थ्रू दैट दे टेक अ लॉट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन। जो टेक कंपनीज होती हैं ये एक सॉफ्टवेयर का इस्तेमाल करती हैं, क्रॉलर्स का। वेब पेज फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मैंने सर्च किया एनी टॉपिक G20 यूपीएससी, राइट, तो यहाँ पे मैंने ये जो टर्म डाला है और ये जो टर्म डाला है, ये कैसे कंप्यूटर को पता चला कि मुझे यही इसी के रिगार्डिंग आंसर चाहिए? बाय द यूज ऑफ वेब क्रॉलर्स। ओके, वेब क्रॉलर्स जो होते हैं वो वेब पेजेस को स्कैन करते हैं बेस्ड ऑन द कीवर्ड्स। तो यहाँ पे ये उस कंटेंट के बेसिस पे इस क्रॉलर्स का यूज करके सर्च करते हैं। एंड ऑन अ सिमिलर नोट यहाँ पे ये ऐसे वेब पेजेस को स्कैन करते हैं और उसके बेसिस पे अपना डेटा सेट तैयार करते हैं। नाउ व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? द प्रॉब्लम इज अबाउट द मीडिया कंपनी। मीडिया कंपनी अपने जो न्यूज आर्टिकल, जैसे आपकी एक ग्रुप ऑफ मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसमें आपके न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स हो गए, रॉयटर्स, CNN, ऑस्ट्रेलियन ब्रॉडकास्टिंग कॉर्पोरेशन, इन्होंने आपका इनका जो कंटेंट है उसका एक्सेस मना कर दिया है चैट जीपीटी को देने से। गूगल जो है वो स्निपेट लेता है, मतलब न्यूज आर्टिकल का जो हेडलाइन है वो यूज कर लिया उसने फॉर द क्रॉलर पर्पसेस, फॉर द सर्च पर्पसेस। तो इससे आपका बेसिकली जो वेबसाइट होता है उस पर ट्रैफिक भी आता है। सो गूगल को ये इंफॉर्मेशन देने में इन मीडिया पेजेस को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट चैट जीपीटी के साथ यहाँ पे कोई भी उनको मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट नहीं मिल रहा है। सो दैट्स व्हाई दे हैव स्टॉप्ड शेयरिंग देयर डेटा विद द चैट जीपीटी। ओके, सो दिस वाज अ न्यूज you should know about web crawler, you should know about large language model and chat gpt. Now this is again an important news. As we know, United World Wrestling, they have they are the world governing body for the wrestling sport. So they have suspended the Wrestling Federation of India. Why? Because they are unable, WFI or the Wrestling Federation of India is unable to conduct its election on time. This means that the Indian wrestler now cannot compete under the national flag. मतलब individually they can participate, individually any wrestler can participate, बट यहाँ पे नेशन को कोई रिप्रेजेंट नहीं करेगा। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर कोई हमारा गोल्ड लाता है, कोई रेसलर गोल्ड लाता है, तो वहां पे जब वो गोल्ड जीतेगा तो वहां पे कोई नेशनल सॉन्ग नहीं चलेगा, हमारा फ्लैग नहीं होगा। दीज विल बी द सिनेरियो। ओके, नाउ देयर आर ऑल्सो केस ऑफ sexual harassment, intimidation against the WFI president, earlier former president Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. He was convicted for all these offences by the wrestlers. Now there is a oversight committee which has completed its inquiry, and soon their inquiry result will come out and we will see what will happen. So this was in news. Just remember about this. Moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the world news, that China releases a new map showing territorial claims. So the 2023 edition of the standard map of China, it shows Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin within China's border, and it is seen as a response of India holding events in the lead up to G20 summit in the state. तो इसीलिए यहाँ पे अरुणाचल प्रदेश को और आपका अक्साई चिन वाले एरिया को चाइना ने अपने बॉर्डर में डाल दिया है। Now 2023 map, it was released by the Ministry of Natural Resources and it claimed China's western border as the so-called 9-dash line, which is covering the South China Sea, and it is also seen in the previous edition, but here also it has been seen, and apart from that Arunachal Pradesh has also been seen over here. So this was in news, an important one. Now moving toward our next news analysis, that is coming in from the Pragyan rover as it encounters crater during the moonwalk. So ISRO has released the image taken by the Chandrayaan-3 rover module Pragyan. Two images were taken by Pragyan navigation camera, and the first one was released by the space agency. As the rover was moving, it found two big craters on the lunar surface of 4-meter diameter while traversing on the lunar surface. Okay, so these images have been shared, and also the first observatory, ISRO has released the first observation from the chased payload which is on board the Vikram lander or the country's third lunar mission Chandrayaan-3. Okay, so this was in news. Just remember about that. Now moving further toward our world news, here the Iran has arrested singer for encouraging whale removal. So this is a very bad news. This is showing the patriarchal or the orthodox thinking of Iran, and also France will ban wearing abayas in school. So these are the two patriarchal or we can say orthodox thinking of Iran and France, which is there in news and which you should know. So this is all about today. I hope you liked the session. Thank you for being there.